All right, West Virginia fans. West Virginia, let's call it a winning streak. The last 2 weeks, West Virginia comes away with a victory. Amit, is momentum building for the West Virginia Mountaineers?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's another solid week, and obviously to end the season. I mean, you're still eligible for a bowl now, but I mean, yeah, you're building momentum and getting another Big 12 win. Wasn't always pretty, but hey, you got the job done, and I think there was a lot of positives to take away from this game.
Amit, I want to start off the show. I can't remember the last time that I've seen a 3-6 versus 3-6 matchup with this much hype. Did you feel the hype coming into this one, Amit?
Yeah, obviously, when you have Coach Prime and Deion involved, there's going to be hype, even if Colorado isn't having the year that they want. But Rich Rod and Deion, just seeing that at the end was pretty cool. I'm like, man, I was like watching the game before, and I was like, man, Deion's in Morgantown right now. It just felt surreal. And obviously, now to get the win, it's big time for us. But obviously, when Deion's involved, there's always going to be hype.
Yeah, I feel like, even though Colorado was 3-6 and they had literally an identical record to West Virginia with the conference wins and the overall record, I felt like this one just had more hype. And I feel like the crowd really showed up today. It was an impressive crowd at Milan Postcar Stadium. And I just feel like there's a lot of positive momentum around this West Virginia football team. It's kind of hard to believe because if you would have told me that a few weeks ago when they played UCF, I would have laughed at you after that. But the fact that we can look back now and after this win, say, okay, there was a packed crowd at Milan Postcar Stadium. Things are on the up trajectory for West Virginia is really cool to see.
For sure. And I think for one, the offense is coming alive, right? We're starting to see some offense. I mean, whether that's, getting plays in the air or running. I mean, obviously Hubbard had another great game today. And then I mean you have a number of guys contributing. And then I mean to get 7 sacks and continue to put pressure on the quarterback, which we saw last week as well. I mean, that's tremendous moving forward. So I think it was nice to see a lot of different guys contributing today.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, Amit. I feel like when I was watching the game today, I'm like, man, this feels drastically different from
Yeah.
what we've seen in the last few weeks. In the last few weeks, we've seen quarterback draw and get failed, and like it looked like a team that was like didn't even belong on a Division I football field. And now when I watch it, I have a different feel. It really does change when guys are blocking and Scotty Fox is doing his thing and the way that we move the ball today. So even though it was not always great, it was not always pretty, I felt much better about watching this team than I have in weeks past, for sure. All
Yeah.
right, before we get into this game, if you're a West Virginia fan, please remember to like and subscribe to the show. I mean, I talked to you before the show. We're gaining traction very quickly. We are very close to that 500 subscriber number, my friend.
Yeah, man, it's exciting, and I appreciate everyone watching. I mean, you've been doing a great job with getting all this content out, and we really appreciate everybody coming in and supporting us.
Yeah, one of the most challenging things is, with me having 2 kids and a wife, is getting things out each and every day. But I feel like West Virginia right now, there's news coming out every day, and we've been pumping the videos out. So if you can continue to help us grow, we'd really appreciate it. Like I said, we're closing in on that 500 number, and let's get into the show. All right, let's talk about a few things before we start. Country roads take me home. Amit, are you familiar with these roads that the Colorado bus was going down before the
Pretty
game yesterday?
pretty familiar. I kept seeing this picture. I'm like, why was the bus going this way? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what route was this driver
I
taking?
I thought the exact same thing because usually when you come from the mile ground, you're not going to go this way to get to Morgantown. Usually you're going to go past the roundabout and you just take a
Yep.
right and you're there. Why are they in downtown Morgantown? Why are they right by Ashbrook Liquor? And
Yeah.
why are they by Bev Avenue? And why are they by Sunnyside?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm too familiar with this side of town just from from those years. But I was wondering, like, what's going on here? Like, what route is this driver taking?
I knew we had a good chance to win once I saw this
Yeah.
this clip. The bus lost by Ashbrook Liquor. I actually used to work at Ashbrook Liquor, so shout out to them. No free advertising though, but Sunnyside used to be way different when we were there,
Oh yeah.
and it's just funny, Sometimes when you see this stuff on social media, because a lot of times when we see stuff on social media, we just see the football field and the basketball field. We don't see shots in Morgantown, so it's kind of funny to see people have some fun with Colorado's truck getting lost. again, it's just a fun little clip before we start
Yeah.
there. I'm sure it brings back memories for you, Amit.
Yeah, no, I think it was a sign of what was to come for Colorado, and just kind of the year they're having.
Could you imagine trying to get like a 16 wheeler up those hills in Morgantown?
Man, no.
It's I mean, I remember like when I would bring friends down, I would always have to warn them before they come down. I'm like, listen, be careful of the hills when you go up those hills because it
Oh
can be
yeah.
very sketchy going up those hills. So just a funny way to look at it. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Big time prospects. So Amit, I did a video last night on potential upgrades for the athletic facilities and for the recruiting class. Right now, the recruiting class is kind of average, to be honest with you. It's like 45th or 53rd in the country, depending on uh, which organization you look at. But there are some big time recruits on campus today. You can see the list here: Jaron Hewley, Sam Hamilton is a nice tight end from the state of Ohio, Lamarcus Dillard, and then a friend of the show, Rhett Morris, who's been on the show a few times. Don Bosco Prep, number one team in the state of New Jersey, was there, so that's cool to see. But then it's the other side that's important. Jalen Anderson, a JUCO edge rusher who's very highly touted. Jordan Avinger, an Arkansas decommit. Trey Wiggins, a four-star Penn State decommit at linebacker. And then a cornerback, Mekhi Boone from Miami, Ohio commit. Amit, what are your thoughts about having big-time prospects on campus for this one?
No, it's huge, and I mean, obviously, they get that firsthand experience of what is like on game day. So to have that type of crowd and that support system was big today, and obviously to see West Virginia get a win as well was good. So no, I think it's huge. I mean, these games are obviously a recruiting type of deal as well, right? When you have big time guys coming on campus. So I was glad to see the atmosphere was great, and we get the win.
We had a comment here, Amit. Hey, man, I'm a fan of your channel from Connecticut. I like WVU soccer and wrestling and soccer. Hey, man, really appreciate that. West Virginia wrestling had a big win today versus American. Going to be interesting. The biggest thing I want to hear from the wrestling thing is Jet Schickenberger, if he's eligible. Sorry, not eligible, but he was hurt last week. He got hurt at the Southeast Open. So I appreciate that. We do wrestling videos here because I was a wrestler in high school. So I'll keep following the wrestling team. So I really appreciate the support from you, and let's go Mountaineers. So back to this, Amit. The Terry Wiggins one is massive. West Virginia has 3 kids right now that are looking to flip from Penn State, and it would be a massive get for the Mountaineers if they can get those guys to flip.
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, I mean, Penn State's one of those schools where you're always competing against, right, from a recruiting standpoint, as well as like, the Virginia Techs, the Marylands. But yeah, I mean, obviously, to get them to see the firsthand experience of what it's like, on game day in Morgantown is big time. So, yeah, hoping we can get land some of these guys.
I thought the crowd was pretty good today. I was a little concerned before the game. There was a clip that came out from Mike Ostie about the student section not showing up, but it turns out they did show up, and it was a nice crowd for these guys. And like I said, I think it's a chance for West Virginia to gain some momentum with all the chaos that's happened in the coaching circles, to get some of these guys from Virginia Tech, Arkansas, Penn State to take another look at West Virginia, I think is imperative for our success.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's a big time school, and obviously, just get that support system when you're 3-6 and you're valuing another 3-6 team. It's big time, right? I mean, this is a passionate fan base. It's big time football. So, I mean, we're looking to get back to where we were accustomed to when we were there. So I think it's one step forward.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the elite TNT broadcast before we get in any stats. Amit, I feel like the TNT broadcast is here to stay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it feels like it's better than ESPN. It feels like it's better than Fox. I mean, you get that full like game day experience, and I mean, I loved every second of it. I mean, there were some jokes they were making about like pepperoni rolls and things like that, and it was cool, man. It felt like the actual like a true game day experience. So I loved it, and I hope to see more. I mean, obviously we have another one coming up pretty soon. So
Next week, yeah.
yeah, next week, yeah. So I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing from TNT, to be honest.
Yeah. Seeing Victor Cruz there rocking the West Virginia hat was cool. I was a little nervous for a second. I'm like, God, please, Victor Cruz, don't pick against my college, because me and Amit are Giants fans and we love Victor Cruz. So seeing him pick the West Virginia hat was definitely awesome to see. But overall, I mean, the entire broadcast has been awesome from TNT. They showed Steve Slayton today, who's getting inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame, which is awesome. They talked about pepperoni rules. They had good interviews with the coaches on the sideline. And I think the before game, the halftime show, and after the game is definitely awesome. And I think it's something that's going to grow. Amit, any last comments as far as TNT goes?
I think was Scotty Fox doing a little salsa dance. I thought I saw like a little clip of that. So if he did do that, that's pretty cool.
My buddy Steve Holcren just commented, is Deion the guy at Colorado, or does that bring the pony show to the end? Hey, Steve, man, I really appreciate you commenting. I talked about this week, with Deion Sanders and his health situation. I really wonder what the future is for him at Colorado. I said, I think he might be on his way out. You saw also what happened to Pat Shurmur this week.
Yeah.
Pat Shurmur is a guy that used to coach for the Giants. They demoted him and took away his play calling ability. Amit, what are your thoughts on Deion and his future at Colorado?
I mean, I could see his time coming to an end. Obviously, there was a lot of hype, and I mean, last year was kind of the year with with his guys and everything like that. I just don't know. I just don't see him being there super long at Colorado. But that's just me. I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think when things get tough, it's challenging, and he doesn't have the generational talent that he did at when he first started there. And now you're seeing the struggles come, and with his health situation, with the bladder cancer that he had, and his kid being in the NFL, it's really, really challenging. And the fact that they lost to West Virginia today, I think, is a little eye-opening to some of their fans. I know we had some comments at halftime that we're going to talk about, so that's definitely interesting as well. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, the box score. So West Virginia wins 29-22. Amit, what are your thoughts overall on the win and what it means for West Virginia?
I mean, like I said, I think the defense did a great job today as far as pressuring the quarterback, getting 7 sacks, which is huge. And then, I mean, you had some guys, obviously Curtis Jones, how about that? Bandit turn running back. He was, he was not going to be denied getting into that end zone. So, I mean, I love what I saw there. And maybe we have something with him kind of moving forward as well.
It reminded me of CJ Donaldson, when he
Yeah.
moved from tight end to running back and was scoring touchdowns for the West Virginia Mountaineers. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Overall, a big win for West Virginia. We needed this. It keeps the momentum going. I was really afraid that we were going to take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, which is what we've been doing the last few years. And like I said, now we're 4-6, and today the crowd was into it. It was a fun environment. And I can't remember the last time we were 3-6 and had that many people in the stands committed to watching the West Virginia Mountaineers. It felt like a bigger game than it was today in reality. All right, let's look at the total team stats here. So West Virginia edges them in total yards. In passing yards, they beat us by about 98 yards or so. Rushing, we dominated them, which they've really struggled against the run this year. You can see the penalties, first downs are pretty even. Amit, any takeaways from today's stats that you see on the screen here?
No, I mean, we did a good job moving the ball. Obviously, those 2 picks from Scotty Fox were tough, right? They were costly. It kind of felt like that pick, the pick game a little bit when he threw those two, and it's like, man, the game kind of turned, and we couldn't capitalize off of some of their mistakes and getting stops. So it felt like we were just waiting to kind of pull away, but we couldn't, right? I think getting points at the end of the first half was huge. That face mask was pretty big to get 3 there. Obviously, Colorado also missed the PAT. And then, I mean, to get that fumble, when Colorado's kind of building some confidence, that was big time as well.
Yeah, pretty even game when you look at the team stats, and a nice overall win for West Virginia. I was a little bit nervous about letting Colorado back into the game.
Yeah.
When they had a chance to put it away, but we'll talk about that when we get to the comparison notes. All right, let's look at the individual stats. So another decent game for Scotty Fox, 17 for 28, 202 yards passing, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Like you said, Amit, the 2 interceptions were a little concerning because it felt like he was going back to the old Scotty Fox that we saw against Pittsburgh. But the kid, give him credit, man. He stayed composed, and they didn't make the change with Wilkins, and they let him ride it out, and he did a nice job.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of, like what we were talking about earlier, you have to let him kind of play through those moments, right? I mean, he's a freshman. He's going to make some mistakes at times. I mean, they were costly. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think he forced a couple plays when he didn't really need to. But hey, I mean, the defense did a great job, kind of, answering the call when they needed to make some plays and getting some sacks and pressuring the quarterback. So I mean, that was big time as well. But I mean, I'm just happy the offense is starting to kind of come alive a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like a real Division I football team when we watch it. Dior Hubbard did some decent things, 16 carries for 64 yards. I think Dior Hubbard has really ran the ball hard a bit. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean another week where he's kind of been that guy. And I mean he made some great receptions as well. Obviously that long ball from Scotty Fox was huge, and that set up some points as well.
Yeah, if you can see the stats below, he was the leading receiver with 6 catches for 94 yards. So that wheel route he ran was very nice.
Yep.
Then you see Scotty Fox, 17 carries for 58 yards. So they ran that quarterback draw a lot. Sincere Bowers, 9 carries, 33 yards. A little concerning with his fumbling
Yeah.
issues that he had, but he picked that up after that. Rodney Gallagher, Jeff Weimer had a few carries. So they kept running that jet option sweep. And like we said, man, if you had Curtis Jones Jr. with 2 touchdowns today, what would that have paid out on DraftKings?
Yeah, no, totally. And how about Ryan Ward, Jersey guy, getting a touchdown as well?
Yeah, Ryan Ward, a guy that we want to talk about because I felt like they played some guys here that we haven't heard from in a while.
Yeah.
John Lewis and things like that, Ben Bogle. So guys that we haven't seen in a while make some plays. And when you look at guys like you're mentioning, they're guys that we have a chance to play in the future for next season, like Ryan Ward. So it's all positives for next season. If you look at the receiving stats, like I said, Hubbard, Weimer, Hamilton. Christian Hamilton had a
Yeah.
nice day today. Haven't seen him in a while. Cam Vaughn, and things like that. All right, let's get into Colorado stats real quick. Let's talk about Julian Lewis. I want to talk about him real quick. Amit, what were your thoughts on the true freshman quarterback from Colorado, Julian Lewis?
I think he played pretty well once he settled in. Early on, I mean, I think he was just seeing a lot of pressure. He was getting sacked, and I think once he was able to settle in, he was able to do some pretty good things.
That was the biggest thing that concerned me because in the first quarter, he did not play well. I think we held Colorado to 9 offensive yards in the first quarter, but they really settled in the second quarter. And a lot of things concerned me going forward. The fact that we let Colorado hang around concerned me, but we made enough plays to win in this game. I feel like that kid is definitely talented. There were some throws he was making. You're like, holy crap, this kid is the real deal. You can see why he was a 4 or 5-star recruit. So they definitely have something in that kid. Another week from it where another wide receiver absolutely torched our defense. This time it was Miller, 6 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we've had some secondary issues for sure this year, and it was kind of just like one of those situations where it's like, all right, you don't want him to torch you too much, but I mean, it feels like they're giving up plays, but they're also doing enough to kind of get these wins. So, I mean, we do have some concerns in the secondary, definitely for sure. But I mean, hey, the defense I think did enough today to get the job done.
Absolutely. I think our secondary is in position, but sometimes their ball skills
Yeah,
aren't always the greatest. All right, so let's talk about the game notes before we head out of here, and we'll talk about just I took notes the entire game, and then we'll kind of put an ending to this episode. All right, first quarter, Fred Perry knee brace. Did you see that, Amit? Fred Perry came out on the first play with like a
first
knee brace
play,
issue.
yeah, that was interesting. Did not see that coming, but
I was a little nervous when I saw Fred Perry with the knee brace, but he ended up having a great game. He's going to go down as one of the best West Virginia defenders that I can remember. Um, he forced a 3 and out. All right, so our first drive, botch snaps killed the drives.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about this. The offensive line on the right side. What is your assessment on the offensive line on the right
I
side?
mean, it's concerning because you saw it a couple of times where the guy is just getting beat, right? Like very easily, and I mean, and it's not giving Scotty a good opportunity to make a play, right? So yeah, I mean, that's definitely concerning for sure.
Anytime that we ran that jet sweep to the right side,
Yeah.
it felt like there was a no-go. I mean, there was times where we saw Chemo and Crawford absolutely miss their assignments and miss their blocks, so that was definitely tough. I mean, who had a good game today? Ben Bogle.
Yeah, a couple sacks.
a couple sacks, and he's a guy that is going to be on the roster next year. One of my biggest concerns with this West Virginia team was that there's so many guys on defense that have no more eligibility, but
Yeah.
we found some things here with Ben Bogle and some of the guys on defense that have stepped up that are going to be here next year. It was definitely encouraging to see that.
Yeah, him and Reed Carrico also made a couple, had a couple sacks, I believe. So, yeah, defense. I mean, they're continuing to force pressure, which is good. And I mean, it's something. I mean, we need to get turnovers, we need to get sacks. So the defense is they're doing enough.
Yeah, and again, the special teams. Let's talk about special teams real quick.
Yeah,
That's also my notes. You get the safety
great.
today.
Yeah.
You get a nice field goal from them. They did enough today to win the game. What were your thoughts on special teams?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said earlier, I think getting those three at the end of the first half was pretty big. I mean, the face mask helped a lot with that, but getting the points at the end of the first half was huge. I think the special team. I mean, I think we're doing a good job punting as well. I mean, like
Oliver Shaw.
Oliver Shaw is doing a great job. I mean, so special teams was definitely a talking point today, and definitely a big reason why we won.
Speaking of a guy that can help us in the future, Nick Taylor today was one of those guys that had a nice play in that coverage, who is a guy come over from Appalachian State that made a nice play
Yep.
there. All right, let's get to the second quarter notes. I think that's what concerned me about Colorado. In the second quarter, they really started to settle in and make some plays.
Yep.
John Lewis, a guy that we haven't seen for a long time, made some nice plays for West Virginia. Colorado's offensive line really killed themselves today, though. They were missing some of their big guys, and they had a lot of penalties that hurt them.
Yep.
Your boy, Darian Lewis, had some nice plays. He was flying around for some fumbles. Coach had some tight coverage, and then the Jersey boy, Ryan Ward, with the touchdown. So we definitely appreciate that. I mean, what are your thoughts, man? I think we need to get more New Jersey guys on the roster. What do you think?
I'm always for that for sure. I mean, we talked about in basketball too. I mean, remember when we used to have those guys in the Final Four teams, and every guy was a Jersey guys. I mean, maybe we're just biased, but I mean, I love having Jersey guys on the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Third quarter notes. You know who made a big impact for them that was out was the Bayard kid. He
Yeah,
got taken out because of targeting, so he missed the first half. Gave them a nice jump coming back in the second half, so he came back. Cam Vaughn had an okay game today. He kind of gator armed the one. That definitely hurt us. What are your thoughts on
yeah,
those things?
yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that one you're not accustomed to him dropping balls too much, and then he had that one ball he's out of bounds. But I mean, if he caught that, that would have been big.
Yeah, Cam Vaughn, even on that one that he was out of bounds, you could see the athleticism and his getup that he
Yeah,
had for that one. He's definitely a player. I think moving forward for West Virginia, we need to find someone that we can partner with him.
all right.
Whether that's Cam Vaughn as the number one or Cam Vaughn as the number two. I wouldn't necessarily be against getting a number one receiver and having Cam Vaughn be the number two, because I think Cam Vaughn is talented, but it'd be nice to have an elite wide receiver to partner him with
Yeah.
there. Eddie Kelly had a nice day. We deflected the pass a lot. The jet sweeps to the right side were a disaster. We mentioned that a few times. And then we have the Scotty Fox back-to-back picks that we've talked about. West Virginia secondary we talked about, just, not making the ball skills. And then again, we kind of let Colorado hang around in this one.
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
thoughts on those notes?
yeah, I mean, I think Derek Carter getting that fumble was probably one of the biggest plays today. That was huge. I mean, it kind of, Colorado's building momentum, they were getting confidence, and then to get that turnover was big time in that moment.
Yeah, and then our defense in the fourth quarter, we bend but don't break. I think that was huge, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that we forced Colorado to think about it and go for field goals instead of touchdowns. And Colorado, even though they haven't been to the red zone much this year, they have a very good red zone offense. It did feel like a lot in the fourth quarter that we lost momentum, but we quickly picked that up, and that was a good sign of a football team. Let's talk about Devin Grant. Devin Grant is a guy that came over from Incarnate Word. He's one of those one-year transfers that we've had that has made an impact. Amit, what are your thoughts on Devin Grant?
I think he's doing a great job. I mean, he's definitely feels like an impact player for sure.
Yeah, Devin Grant, it kind of reminds me of like that TJ Jackson type of guy that has had a major role on the team. Excellent put away drive. I felt like we
Yeah.
texted when we were up by 3, and we're like, dude, one more touchdown, let's put this thing away.
Get it
And
done.
it felt like at that point in the game that West Virginia just decided that they were going to will their way to a victory and put Colorado away. Eric Flowers said 3 carries, 9 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns. Like I said, Eric, if you had Curtis Jones on DraftKings today scoring 2 touchdowns, you're probably a very wealthy man right now, and you should go celebrate if you had that, because I know we didn't. I know we talked about Curtis Jones for a while, and dude, he had some massive carries in this game. There was times where he was definitely stopped and just kept his legs moving and put the ball in. So the fact that we're winning with this team should be mentioned too. You know, that should not be forgotten, that we're winning with like a 3rd or 4th string quarterback, a 3rd or 4th string running back.
Yeah.
Injuries everywhere, and the fact that we're still making plays with the squad that we have is important. But how about this note? Oxley grabs Lewis down by the hair for the sack. Did you see that play?
I saw that. I was like, man, that must have been painful.
I was worried that because when it happens in real time, you're worried about a horse collar, you're worried about a face mask.
Yeah.
And then I saw them go like this, and I'm like, what was that? It must have been saying the hair was part of the uniform.
Yeah.
Nice play by Oxley. You know, if I was, listen, I'm a bald guy, so I don't have a choice. But if I played football, I think I'd keep my hair pretty short.
Yeah.
And then how about this? Last thing before we kind of head out, Deion Sanders made a really bad coaching move at the end of the game to call a timeout with 1:21 left. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, I was watching that. And I was like, it caught me by surprise. I was like, what is he doing? I don't know. I was surprised by that. I didn't understand it.
Because, you know, we've played, listen, I've played Madden for like, I don't know, 25 years. And I always keep the timeouts in my back pocket because I always give myself a chance. I know if my defense can make a stop that I have a chance. And then when he does that, when he decides to take a timeout, you basically give your, if you don't get the onside kick, the game is basically over.
Yeah.
And he basically did that with his team. He takes a timeout, and it was on a 4th down situation. I think it was a pretty easy call. You bring the kicker out, you make it a 1-score game, and then you move on, and you give your chance an onside kick. If you don't get that, you have 3 timeouts. Correct. He took his team out of the game by calling a timeout. That was a coaching blunder on his part.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think that's all we got. When was the last time we blocked a punt? Eric, that's a great question.
Great question.
Maybe Pitt. Which Pitt game was it though? We blocked a punt in Pitt. I know JT Daniels' year we blocked a punt. CJ Donaldson blocked that punt actually in JT Daniels' year, if I remember. I don't know. I can't remember the last time. And then, dude, Smith Brown was so close to scoring that touchdown.
Yeah, for sure.
He was so close.
Yeah, nice to see those type of plays, though. I mean, I'm super pumped. We don't get those type of plays too often, so it's nice to see.
Before we head out, you want to talk some hoops real quick before we head out?
Yeah, for sure.
Any thoughts as far as what you've seen from the basketball team? Listen, we play the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. For anyone that doesn't know, this show's called JerseyEER, but I'm basically Lehigh Valley ear because I live on the border of Pennsylvania and Jersey. I mean, what have you seen from the basketball team so far? Are you concerned? Are you feeling hopeful? What do you think?
Wouldn't say concerned just yet. I mean, I think you get through Lehigh hopefully, and then Pitt's obviously going to be a big time test. I mean, it's you can get through some of these games when you're playing just weaker competition, right? But the rebounding is concerning for me. I would say. I think Honor Huff is a dude for sure, and some of the free throws might be concerning as well. But I think rebounding right now is the one thing that maybe concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, Chance Moore and Jackson Fields coming back should hopefully fix the rebounding problems.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what we do against Lehigh tomorrow. If we play like we did the last few games, I'm concerned about that. But, we'll see what happens. Eric Flower says, you guys don't get the profile picture. It's Boss Hog from Dukes and Hazard and Ross Hodge's face.
Okay.
Listen, we love any inside jokes that we can get here. We love all the interaction. Ross Hodge. Listen, we love Ross Hodge. Some people don't, though. Some of my friends have been complaining and stuff like that. So I think he's a fine hire. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do over the next few games.
Yeah, it's so early that it's hard to kind of say, right? I mean, it's 2 games. Like, you give him a little time. I mean, defensively, though, I mean, he's been preaching defense for a while, and I like what I'm seeing on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm a little concerned with the defense in the paint, but a
Yeah,
few times they've had Harlan Obioa in some foul trouble, so he hasn't been as aggressive as he needs to be, probably. I think a win is a win, and we'll take all the positive momentum that we can get. A lot of people were concerned about Trey Eaglestaff in the first game, but he looked decent,
he was more
in game
aggressive.
two.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think with this team, what you're going to see is that it's going to be a different guy each night. Like in the first night, it was Jasper Floyd, and the second night it was Honor Huff. That's probably how it's going to be for this team moving forward. It's probably going to be one night it's going to be Trey, one night's going to be Honor, one night's going to be Jasper, one night's going to be Belo. That's going to carry your teams. It's not going to be the same consistent guy like we saw last year with that team.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to finish the bunnies. Like they were missing a lot, in the paint and like towards the rim. I'm like, man, you gotta score those. I mean, it's gonna get harder in the Big 12, so you can't miss those opportunities.
Absolutely. I plan on doing a live show tomorrow after the Lehigh game because I didn't get a chance to talk about the game that happened against Campbell. And then I know you and me talked. We want to do something on Pitt after the game for sure because that's going to be a huge game Thursday night. Amit, any last words before we head out of here?
No, I mean, I think from with football, I mean, it's another big win. Definitely, we're getting some momentum here, and then Arizona State, I think, is a winnable game next week. So I think, let's just keep this thing going, right, and just keep stacking the wins and build some confidence going into next year. And then with basketball, obviously, Pitt's going to be fun this week. Backyard brawl, I think we owe them for the last 2 years. So, hoping to get a win there, and let's go Mountaineers.
Eric Flowers said, "I feel like Eagle staff is playing is trying to play defense so much it has thrown off his offense." Yeah, so Ross
Yes.
Hodge actually mentioned that after the first game, and he said he has like no legs on defense because he is exerting himself so much in defense, and he said the standard that he's trying to have him play on defense is different than anywhere he's played before, so that's might be the reason. I trust Trey Eaglestaff. I mean, I don't think you score 50 points against Alabama on accident at all. So the fact, whenever I saw that, I'm like, okay, this guy can play. We can pencil him in. I think it's just a massive week for West Virginia sports in general. Like you said, I think the Arizona State game is a winnable game. They had a bye week this week, but they didn't practice at all. From what I heard, they took the entire week off. They have injuries to Jordan Tyson and Sam Levitt. So if we can win this one coming up on Saturday, we have a chance to come back to Morgantown with a chance to make a bowl game versus Texas
Play
Tech.
play spoiler and and yeah, and get to imagine going 6-6 and beating Texas Tech last game of the year. Hey, you never know.
I mean, have you ever seen the movie Semi Pro with Will Ferrell?
Oh yeah, yeah, great
You ever
movie.
see the scene where they do the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl at the end of
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
If we beat Arizona State next week, I feel like the Texas Tech game is going to be like the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl, where they hype everybody up. Like, look, we're like, no one outside of West Virginia cares, but we
Yeah,
will. But it could be a massive game for Texas Tech.
yeah.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still have to take care of Arizona State next week, but yeah, Texas Tech looks really good versus BYU today. They're the king of the Big 12.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think for sure. I mean, there's no argument there. They are looking very, very good. All that money's going to good use, it looks like. So, did you catch the end of that Indiana Penn State game today?
I was just going to talk because right
Yeah.
now I'm watching Iowa State and TCU. I have like 3 TVs in my man cave right now. What I'm watching, I actually was going to talk to you about that, dude. What a catch from Indiana at the end of that game.
Unbelievable. That might have been the best catch I've seen in college football. Like that was unbelievable. I was like, man.
The balance was crazy. Eric Flowers
Yeah.
had another comment I want to talk about. I appreciate your guys' content. Keep it rolling. When I went to WVU years ago, my friends were all there from Jersey. Hey man, listen, we got to represent the New Jersey fans. I actually met a guy today at the supermarket before the game, and he was from West Virginia, and he was like actually from West Virginia. People are from West Virginia when they tell you what county they're from.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, I'm from Boone County, West Virginia. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. I'm from New Jersey, but I appreciate you. So, hey man, we appreciate it. I wanted to start a podcast to give us Northeast people a microphone to talk about the Mountaineers because we care too. So, hey, if you like the content, definitely share with your friends. We definitely appreciate it. We're trying to grow this thing at a rapid rate, so we really do appreciate it. Back to the Penn State thing, though. Yeah, man, it's been a difficult season. They don't have a Power Four win. They're that game was absolutely brutal for them, and I think that helps West Virginia when Penn State loses with all the guys looking at the school. I think that helps if Penn State loses.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, with Indiana, I can't believe they're 10-0 and they're the number 2 team in the country in football. Like they've always been a basketball school, and I mean, hey, Signetti's a great coach.
It's always the worst timing because, Neil Brown won 9 games the year that he became available. So he goes to Indiana and everyone's going to talk about that, So it is timing. It would have been interesting if West Virginia would have gotten rid of Neil Brown now, because there's so many coaches, and what would that job have looked like with West Virginia compared to the other brands? Eric Flowers, we have a few minutes before we get off. Where are you? What year did you graduate, and where were your friends from in New Jersey? If you can share that before we leave. Uh, anyway, I mean, nowadays, if West Virginia was still an option, where would we rank as far as the schools go with all the job openings that are there?
I mean, oof. I mean, it's hard to say. Like in basketball, I think it's always a top. I think it's a top job. I mean, 100%. Like it's like when we were, kind of figuring out our next coach. I'm like, this is a top 25, top 30 job. In my opinion, it is absolutely. And
Well, Ren Baker said that in his press conference when DeVries left. He said that if you look at the last 20 years, West Virginia has been just as successful as Indiana has.
yeah, no, totally, totally. I mean, in football, I mean, we're trying to get back to where we were, but it's still, it's still a quality job. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, look at the crowd today. I mean, the fact that we are 3-6
Yeah.
going into that game, and you saw the crowd that showed up today at Milan Postcar Stadium was definitely impressive. I'm kicking myself. I was supposed to go to that game today, but I actually canceled the hotel because we were so dreadful. And then I was trying to convince my wife at the last second to go, but she kind of shut me down on that. So, we watched it at home. But anyway, that's all I got. I mean, any last words before we move on here?
No, man, I just appreciate you having me. And it's nice to see a couple wins in a row now. Let's keep this thing going.
Yeah, man, the momentum is back. Eric Flowers said, here we go. He said, Tom's River, Montvale.
Oh,
I did the Van Wilder college career. I didn't graduate 89 to 95. Those are probably wild years to be there, brother. 89 to 95 in Morgantown, West Virginia. Tom's River is a nice place to visit. It's right
yeah.
down by the Jersey Shore. Montvale's up by Rhett Morris, who has been on the show by the Don Bosco Prep area. So we appreciate your comments. Amit, what town are you in now?
I'm in Bedminster, so Somerset County. But I mean, I run into people who have West Virginia ties all the time. Everywhere I go, I feel like if I have my West Virginia on, I talk to somebody for like 5-10 minutes, and they have a story about West Virginia in some capacity. So it's crazy.
I purposely try to wear West Virginia stuff when I'm out and about on town, especially with the podcast now. I need to create a business card. I need to create some gear and some merch to spread to spread it out to people and get some JerseyEER shirts out there, because it's just easier to hand someone a business card than be like cringy, like follow the YouTube channel, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool though, Eric. I appreciate it, man. Definitely share with your friends about the stories. 89-95. I'm sure that was wild times in Morgantown. Amit and I were in diapers at that time, right? I was born in 91.
I was 92, so yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing a story on the press box yesterday. It's the first time since 1980 that they're gonna update that. So wild times.
Yeah.
All right, man. Anything
Good though. It looks good. The press box, I think, is going to be a great addition to that.
Long overdue. I remember
Yeah.
remember when you and me covered the team,
Oh yeah.
and watching that and stuff. It's crazy. I mean, before we get off here, any games you're looking forward to tonight?
I think Alabama LSU will be cool. I'm watching Oregon Iowa right now. A&M Mizzou is going to be a good one, I think. So yeah, it's a good Saturday. I was watching a bunch of games earlier. I was even watching Bama St. John's in basketball as well. So
Eric Flowers has another comment. I met Major Harris at the block party my first weekend. The block party, I used to hear like stories about that back in the day. The block party. That's pretty awesome. We used to have Fall Fest. I feel like we were at the peak of Fall Fest a bit. I feel like that's when we were. It's not the same
so
anymore.
different. I can't keep up with it, but I'm like, it's not downtown anymore, right? It's like in Evansdale. It's like early. I'm like, I don't know, man. The town's changed so much. Like
It's funny, like when I see like the lineup now and like the college kids, like, could you imagine being in college in like 2015 when like Kendrick Lamar was there? I'm like, dude, that was our time. Like Mac Miller, Juicy J, they all came.
Yeah.
And I know. I feel bad for kids who go to West Virginia now almost, because I feel like we were at
They
the
have
peak.
no idea. Yeah.
And we weren't even at the peak. I mean, we missed like the Pat White years and Steve Slayton years.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, for
that was
sure.
cool to see him get acknowledged today.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I remember just playing like, college football back in the day. And I mean, I didn't know I was going to go to West Virginia at the time, but I mean, everybody knew Pat White, Owen Schmidt, Steve Slayton. So just to see like those teams and then, obviously go in there after that, it's like, it's special, man. And, I always love, kind of going down memory lane and seeing those guys.
Eric Flowers, kind of funny, I think from someone, us Jersey guys, one of our favorite places is Spage. I think I speak for a minute
Oh,
when we
yeah.
say that. And seeing the memorabilia at Spage of those 80 teams, like, the Beast of the East, and seeing like the Penn State victories and stuff was definitely cool to see that on the wall. So that's awesome. Coop said, let's go. Coop is a massive West Virginia fan. Coop, I know you were probably at the game today. Let's go Mountaineers. We definitely appreciate you there. I think that's all I got. Like I said, I mean, I think the one thing that stunk today was that the noon games were so stacked. It was like
Yeah,
all the games I wanted to watch were all at the same time. I wanted to
yeah,
watch Penn State and Indiana. I wanted to watch Texas Tech versus BYU and our game, of course. And of course, they were all
yeah.
stacked together. Let's see what Coop says real quick before we get off. W win, but I'm more excited about meeting Tavon Austin. So funny story about that. Tavon Austin and Stedman were like in my class at college. And I remember like watching those guys like as it was happening like each week and being like, dude, Tavon Austin's highlight tape is going to be insane at the end of the season. And, sure as ever, I was definitely right about that. He was amazing to watch. I mean, any comments about watching those guys in real time?
I mean, it was tremendous, man. I mean, there's so many memories. Baylor, Texas game. I mean, just watching Tavon, what he was able to do. I still watch the highlight tape here and there. I mean, on YouTube and Stedman, great guy, and Gino, and I mean, it was special, man. And I miss it. And but yeah, those guys are awesome.
At least, I know like we don't have Tavon, we don't have Stedman on our teams and stuff like that now, but at least there's something to root for. He said, I also met Steve Slayton last night too. Like I said, man, I kind of mentioned this. Steve Slayton was one of the reasons that I chose to go to West Virginia, truthfully. Seeing what Pat White, Steve Slayton, and Owen Schmidt did when we were high schoolers, and seeing the West Virginia brand on TV and knowing it was an affordable place to go to college and only being 4.5 hours away was definitely something that a kid from Jersey wanted to be a part of. We don't have too much to root for up here. We have Rutgers and things like that. But if I wanted the full college experience, I wanted to take them country roads home and see what West Virginia had to have. And I don't think I'd go to college at West Virginia if it wasn't for Steve Slayton or Pat White,
Yeah, yeah,
truthfully.
yeah.
So those guys are the goats. They truly are. I mean, not enough can be said about them. I mean, let's face it. If you don't have Steve Slayton and Pat White, do you have Tavon Austin, Bruce Irvin, and some of these other guys coming to your school? I don't know. They definitely set the standard. So hopefully we can find some new guys that set that new standard from here. All right. If we have any last comments come in, we'll mention them. If not, we've been on here for 42 minutes. I mean, any last comments? I know I've probably said that to you 5 times to now. Any last ones you got before we head out of here?
Yeah, man, I'm just like I said, happy to get the win, to stack a couple wins in a row now, and then it's kind of basketball is season's gonna get a little bit more exciting as we get stiffer competition as well. So I'm just excited. It's a fun time of year for sure.
Eric Flowers said my high school friends that went to Marshall have always called WVU Southern New Jersey State. It's funny, Eric, to get into that conversation. Listen, I love the comments. If you have comments, I will talk all night about these stuff. I think it's fun. I think we get a bad rap being from New Jersey going to WVU. I truly think. And I also think that it's kind of for my show sometimes. I don't know. Some people probably think a certain way because they probably don't like a New Jersey guy giving takes on like the beloved Mountaineers. But if you know me, I'm as passionate of a Mountaineer fan than anybody that's out there. I truly believe that. We love our Mountaineers in New Jersey. We truly do. And I absolutely love talking to people in the supermarkets and talking to people that their kids go to West Virginia because I feel like there's such a community up here. Uh, I know there's a lot of us, and I know that it's not always not everyone loves to hear from New Jersey people down in West Virginia, but we're an important part of their community and their alumni base. They definitely need New Jersey people to come down. So I have New Jersey pride. I have West Virginia pride, and that's why I decided to start the show. Amit, How many people do you know from New Jersey that went to West Virginia?
No joke. I see a West Virginia sticker on a car at multiple times a week. I'm no joke. Like I see that everywhere, and I'm like, man. And I want to give him a little honk, and But I mean, hey, look, I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. I love that place, and yeah, I mean, I watch still every game as much as I can. I watch every basketball game, every football game. I try my best to keep up as much as I can, and I mean, yeah, I can't imagine going anywhere else.
My only problem with New Jersey, it's not closer. I'm
Yeah,
on the border of New Jersey, so I'm probably the
yeah.
closest to West Virginia anyone from New Jersey. And I wish it was closer because 5 hours is just enough to make you not go. But if it was a little bit closer, like 3 hours, I'd probably go to every game.
Yeah.
Eric Flower said, "Who cares what those hillbillies think? I love my New Jersey. I have friends from PA and New Jersey and New York. Hey man, I won't call them hillbillies, but I love the West Virginia people, man. I think they're the nicest people that you can come across. I just think that West Virginia football is different. When I go on vacation to like Myrtle Beach and like Florida and things like that, when I wear a West Virginia cap, people from all ages, like the older people, like, did you hear about Bob Huggins? Like they want to talk to me about West Virginia football. If
Yeah.
I wore a Rutgers hat around Phillipsburg, nobody would care. Like no one would care. So it's a statewide pride thing. So I love West Virginia. I appreciate your comments, Eric. I really do. Like I said, spread it out to people. We really appreciate it. And I think that's
I mean,
all we got. Unless
no joke. I've been to my fair share of Rutgers games, and it doesn't feel the same at all. Like, I mean, no shade to them or anything like that, but you go there and like everything's empty up top. It's like, it doesn't give you the same vibe as like a true like Mountaineer game.
I remember like going on my first visit to West Virginia, and as soon as you crossed like the state line, it just felt different. I mean, even going through the mountains of Western Maryland, it was like, man, this is really cool. And like once you got to this across the state, I was like blown away with like the brand. And I remember as a kid, like as soon as I stepped on campus, I was looking at a few other schools. I'm like, no, Dad, I'm going to this school. I don't care what it takes. We're going to West Virginia because I need to go there. And I'm so glad I did because it's been awesome. With that being said, we've talked about a lot. We've talked about like the glory days for like 20 minutes now, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of the games. We deserve it. Let's go Mountaineers. Probably gonna do a live show tomorrow after the Lehigh game. We'll probably do one for Pitt. We'll probably preview Arizona State. We appreciate you guys. Let's go Mountaineers. We'll talk to you guys next time.